If you've cruised long enough, you've seen a rude cruise passenger. You've heard a rude cruise passenger. They pop up here and there, and probably everybody has seen at least one. Well, today I have 8 tips for rude cruise passengers. Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to today's video. So I happen to be over on Facebook going through the cruising pages over there, and there is one over there called Crew Center. And on there you get a lot of posts from actual crew members on board cruise ships. Well, today they happen to post an article called 8 Tips for Rude Cruise Passengers. I read through it, and you know what? I thought it was really worth sharing because I believe it is some really good tips. Now, I will put a link to the actual article itself in the description below if you want to go over there and read it, but I'm going to cover all 8 tips with you. And I think these tips are important, especially for first-time cruisers and for new cruisers, because yeah, you can go on the internet, you can listen to your friends, other people that cruised before, and there's always a chance that they're going to give you some bad advice. And hopefully these tips will set any of that bad advice straight. So let's jump right in here with tip number 1. Now I'm just going to go ahead and read these to you. That way you know exactly what the crew member says who wrote these tips. Because like I said, this is from crew members themselves, not from other passengers, not from me, directly from crew members. All right, so tip number 1, never consider yourself too important when dealing with crew members on board. You are not better than the first-time cruiser because you have a diamond sign and sail card on board the ship, and the company gives you a specific status for your loyalty. We provide equally efficient, friendly service to all our guests on board the ship, regardless of how many cruises they have been on before. Do not impress crew members with your stories about who you know or where you travel or how everyone looks up to you like a VIP. If you do that, crew members will only provide you with the minimum required level of customer service, and you will never be able to receive some of the best extra mile hospitality experience. So that's tip number 1. Don't think you're better than anybody else on board a ship. And yeah, you could be diamond, you could be platinum, whatever the highest level is on board the cruise line that you're sailing with. And it does give you extra perks, it does give you some extra privileges, but they're right, it doesn't make you better than the first-time cruiser that's on board the ship. Definitely a good tip in my opinion. Tip number 2, do not bang your card to draw some bartender's attention when approaching the bar counter on board. Be polite and patient. Your turn is coming up in a moment. Important to know because I can guarantee you that if you are banging your card while making inappropriate comments about slow bar service, you will wait forever, and the bartender will always find a reason not to serve you as fast as you expect. It's an alcohol service policy, and yes, the bartender can refuse to serve you if you show abusive and disrespectful behavior. All right, tip number 3. Do not wave $1 bill in front of the bartender's nose. No bartender in the world will serve you promptly after that. Even if it is a $100 bill, it does not matter. That is a massive disrespect to the bartenders because you insult the employee value. And yes, other guests waiting next to you probably have their $1 bill tips ready, so do not consider yourself a VIP. Yes, so don't go to the bar banging your card, waving money around for an extra tip, thinking that that is going to jump you to the front of the line, because according to this, crew members don't like it. Tip number 4, when talking to any crew member on board the ship, don't ever say, "Do you know who I am? Are you aware that I know some important people in this company, so you all make sure to give me the best service?" This is just all wrong. By trying to draw attention that way, you will not get what you want, but also most of the crew members will spread the word about you and avoid you until the rest of your cruise. Nobody cares about who you are or who you know. Just be humble, and crew members will provide you with the experience of your lifetime. Seems pretty simple to me. Be nice to crew members. You'd be like, "Oh, I know the president, I know this person, I know this person." Crew member, according to the crew members, they don't care, and that doesn't make a amount of difference to them. Just be nice, and they'll be nice. Tip number 5. If someone has told you to make a lot of complaints while being on a cruise so that you will get some complimentary champagne or chocolate strawberries delivered to your room, please reconsider your plan to be adjusted. By purposely trying to create drama on board a cruise ship, you will ultimately spoil your own cruising experience. All crew members will target you for your inappropriate behavior. Experienced crew members on board will easily read your intention and will make sure that you never try something similar again. And I've seen people say this before. You just go down and complain and they'll give you stuff. You can get free stuff by doing this. You know, there are those types of cruisers out there, but these crew members are right. You think you're going down and doing something to get yourself something. These crew members have probably seen people try this hundreds and hundreds of times. And they're wise to it. And according to them, they're going to make you have a bad experience for it. Tip number 6, do not ever sit on your own at the table in the dining room. Wait patiently to be seated. If possible, do not complain too much about the food and potentially delayed service because your food is in the cook's hands, who are usually good friends with your servers. So just be nice, because if not, Again, patiently wait, and even if you ask your questions or concerns, just do so in a friendly, respectful way. Those crew members will do their best to provide an efficient, unforgettable customer service experience. Seems like a whole big theme of this is you be nice and respectful to them, they're going to be nice and respectful to you. Tip number 7, just because you are a guest does not mean that you don't have to smile when dealing with crew members. If you smile while talking to the crew in return, that will give you a substantial extra mile of service. Smiling is free, and it makes a huge difference. Crew members will appreciate your kindness, and that kind of guest behavior is much more important than just a few extra dollars. Because every unexpected act of kindness goes a long way and makes a notable difference for every single crew member on board. It will also make a difference for you as a guest because I can guarantee you will receive the best service of your lifetime. So a friendly smile, just a small amount of extra kindness that you give crew members, according to crew, that is what they're looking for. That is what they like. And that is what makes their day. And finally, tip number 8. Now, this one I wholeheartedly agree with. And it does seem like you constantly see complaints about this. Even if it's just something small, there are people that are rude and complain about this very, very thing. So tip number 8, the person cleaning your cabin is not a Superman or a robot. You have to understand that he or she is cleaning dozens more cabins besides yours. For that reason, show some compassion and some understanding before making unnecessary complaints. Crew members will greatly appreciate that, and you will always receive an extra mile of service. And so that is 8 tips for rude guests directly from crew members. What do you guys think about these tips? Do you agree with them? Do you disagree with them? Do you think the crew members are right? Or do you think the crew members are wrong? Now, you may say to yourself, you know what, I've been on cruises. I'm always nice to crew members. I'm polite to crew members. I understand and respect crew members, and I believe that the majority of cruise passengers do exactly that. But you'd be surprised because this article just came out, about 45 minutes before I made this video. I saw it. It already had comments, and one of the very first comments on there was, no, this is absolutely not true. If I stay in a suite, I am obviously better than someone that stays in an inside cabin. I should be treated that much better than that other person. And they said, my advice to you, from them to the crew member, is to shut up and take it. So almost right off the bat, you have one of the very people that this article is talking about. And it's that comment right there is why I thought it was so important that we get this type of information out there, especially for new cruisers. Not because they're going to come on the ship and be rude, but so they can come on the ship with the foreknowledge of that, hey, these crew members are there and you give them a little extra and they're guaranteed to give you a little extra, and it just makes everybody's day that much better. But you guys let me know in the comments what you guys think about these 8 tips. All right, and that is going to be our video for today. If you've enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day, and like always, we will see you out on the high seas.